What's up, Gooners? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got 3 crucial stories today that reveal Andrea Berta's plans and Arsenal's growing injury nightmare. Let's dive straight in. Gooners, the Tony Fruk to Arsenal story just got a major update. His agent has publicly confirmed that Arsenal want to sign him, adding serious legitimacy to what seemed like a random rumour. Andy Barra, Fruk's agent, told 24 Sata, "Yes, it's true, Arsenal want to bring him in." That's as clear as it gets. When an agent goes public like that, it means negotiations are real and the interest is genuine. This backs up what Sport Club reported earlier this week, that negotiations are in full swing for Arsenal to sign Fruk, and the player is expected to move to the Emirates soon. So this isn't just media speculation, this is actually happening. But here's where it gets interesting. Fruk is a 24-year-old attacking midfielder who plays for HNK Rijeka and the Croatian national team. Back in 2019, when he was a teenager, Serie A side Fiorentina signed him for their academy, but he couldn't make his way into the senior team there. In 2023, Fruk returned to Croatia and joined Rijeka. Now here are his numbers. In 114 appearances for Rijeka, he scored 29 goals and provided 31 assists in all competitions. That's 60 goal contributions in 114 games. Solid numbers for the Croatian league. But here's the stat that's getting attention. This season, Fruk has scored 10 goals, which is more than any Arsenal first-team player right now. Let me repeat that. A midfielder playing in Croatia has outscored everyone in Arsenal's squad this season. That's either really impressive for Fruk or really concerning for Arsenal's attackers. So why is this confusing? Well, Fruk is clearly a talented player, but a jump from the Croatian top flight to the Premier League leaders at the age of 24 feels unlikely. It's a massive step up. And more importantly, Arsenal already have Martin Odegaard, Eberechi Eze, Ethan Nwaneri and Max Daumann in the number 10 role. So the last thing Arsenal need is another player in that position. We're stacked there. So what's going on? There are a few possibilities. 1. Arsenal see Fruk as a backup option who can play multiple positions, not just as a 10. 2. Andrea Berta is planning for the future and sees someone Arsenal could develop. Or 3. This is agent talk designed to drum up interest and get Fruk a better contract at Rijeka. Personally, I can't see a world where Berta signs Fruk in January. We don't need another attacking midfielder. Maybe in the summer if one of our current options leaves, but even then, it would be a surprising signing. But the agent has confirmed Arsenal's interest, so we can't completely dismiss it. Let's see how this plays out, but I'm skeptical about this one, Gooners. Now let's talk about something even more surprising. Andrea Berta has already identified David Raya's replacement, and it's Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper Dijant Ramage. Before everyone panics, let me be clear, David Raya is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. The Spaniard joined Arsenal in the summer of 2023, initially on loan. And despite the controversy around replacing Aaron Ramsdale, the decision has proven to be absolutely correct. Raya has saved Arsenal on several occasions over the last 2 years, but according to German outlet Sport.de, Arsenal have been really impressed by Ramage and have sent their officials to watch him more closely. The 24-year-old is owned by Borussia Dortmund but is currently on loan at Heidenheim. Now, before you judge his stats, Ramage has conceded 29 goals in 15 games this season. That sounds terrible, right? But Heidenheim are struggling defensively as a team, so it's hard to pin all that on the goalkeeper. The report describes Ramage as a ball-playing goalkeeper, similar to Raya, but they highlight how the current Arsenal number 1 is prone to the occasional blunder. That's a fair criticism, actually. Raya has made a few mistakes this season that could have cost Arsenal points. Sport.de writes that Ramage's profile would fit perfectly into the playing philosophy of Mikel Arteta. The Stuttgart-born stopper will return to Dortmund in the summer, and if their current goalkeeper Gregor Kobel stays, Ramage is expected to move on. The report claims Arsenal's interest could become more concrete at that point. So what does this mean for Raya? Nothing immediately. Raya isn't losing his place in the Arsenal side anytime soon. He's the undisputed number 1, and that's not changing, but here's the context. Arsenal have been looking for a top-class goalkeeper for a while now. You may remember that Arsenal were desperate to sign Joan Garcia from Espanyol, but the Spaniard ended up joining Barcelona instead. Although Garcia would have come in as second choice, he was viewed as someone capable of displacing Raya down the line. Ramaj could be viewed in the same light by Arsenal. This suggests they're keeping an eye on potential replacements for Raya in the coming years. Not because Raya's bad, but because Arsenal want competition and a succession plan. Honestly, I think this is smart planning from Berta. You don't wait until your starting goalkeeper declines or leaves to start looking for replacements. You identify targets early, track their development, and strike when the time is right. But if I'm Raya, I'm not worried about this at all. He's been brilliant for Arsenal. He's 30 years old and entering his prime years as a goalkeeper, and Arsenal have no reason to replace him anytime soon. This is just Berta doing his due diligence, planning for the future like a good sporting director should. Alright, Gooners, we need to talk about Arsenal's injury situation because it's getting genuinely concerning now. Mikel Arteta has delivered updates ahead of the Wolves match, and the news isn't great. Arsenal just beat Club Brugge 3-0 in the Champions League without breaking a sweat. That was impressive, especially considering they were without key stars like William Saliba, Declan Rice, Jurrien Timber, and the other longer-term absentees. But ahead of the clash against Wolves on Saturday night, Arteta shed some light on those injury issues in his press conference. And honestly, it's worrying. Here's the brutal reality. Among the players in Arsenal's 25-man first-team squad, 17 have missed at least one game due to a fitness issue this season. 17 out of 25. That's 68% of the squad. That's not normal, Gooners. That's a crisis. The latest players to be sidelined were Rice, Timber and Leandro Trossard. Rice missed the Champions League game against Brugge due to illness. Timber failed to recover from a knock. Trossard couldn't overcome the injury he picked up against Villa. And then there's Saliba, who missed his fourth game in a row despite his recovery time frame being described as a matter of days. That's dragging on way longer than expected. When Arteta was asked about Saliba, he said, "We have to wait and see. Yesterday we didn't train. He hasn't trained with us yet. We have an extra day. We train this afternoon. Let's see if he can be available for that. It remains the same, a matter of days. For the Everton game, I think he will be fit. For tomorrow, I don't know. So Saliba might not play against Wolves, but should be back for Everton. That's something at least." On Rice, Arteta said, "Let's see how he is today. Obviously, he was ill. That's an illness, so normally in a few days it gets resolved, but we have to wait and see how far he can push." About Timber. Again, it depends on how he feels today. It was a knock that he picked up and he wasn't feeling comfortable. Again, I think it's a matter of days, but whether it's tomorrow or not, we will see. And on Trossard. Another one that is a matter of days. Sounds boring, but it's the reality. So we don't know, and if he is available, for how long? Did you notice the pattern? Everything is a matter of days. Everything is uncertain. Everything is wait and see. That's what Arteta's dealing with week after week. The fact that Arsenal are on top of the Premier League and Champions League tables despite all of these injury issues is simply remarkable. Most other sides in the world would have collapsed by now. The squad depth that Berta built in the summer is the only reason Arsenal are still competing on all fronts. But here's the harsh truth. This is not sustainable for the whole season. Arteta should be proud of his players for grinding through this, but he'll be the first to realise that something has to change. Arsenal's medical staff need to get to the bottom of these injury issues. Is it training intensity? Is it bad luck? Is it the pitch at Colney? Is it overplaying certain players? Something is causing 17 players to get injured, and Arsenal need to figure it out fast. Because if this continues, Arsenal's dream of lifting silverware at the end of the season could come crashing down. You can only survive an injury crisis for so long before it catches up with you. So there you have it, Gooners. What do you think, Gooners? Would you take Fruck? Are you worried about the Raya replacement talk? And what's causing all these injuries? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an Arsenal update. Until next time, Gooners, come on you Gunners!